So I'm going to show you my process of creating a lo-fi beat, and I'm going to explain what I'm doing just while I go through it so that hopefully you'll have a better understanding. So whenever I make a lo-fi beat, I always start off with the chords. I'm going to be using Lofi Panda 3 by Clark Audio, which is the sponsor of today's video. I'll explain about this more in just a moment. Now I'm going to go over here and I want to get some keys. Now I've gone with this preset and I've already got a 2-chord progression I like the sound of. So we're going to start off with an F major chord, which is F, A, C, E. For the next one I'm going to use C, G, C and E. And this chord is just a C major, you can see here, just a C major with its first an octave above. And all I'm doing is moving this E up and that just changes the voicing. This is just a little rhythm I want with it as well. Now I want another instrument layered on top of it. So on layer B, I can click this on button and I'm going to change it to a cozy felt. And I can also pan the sample, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Also, if you want to, you can import your own samples, which I'm not going to personally do, but it's very cool that you can do that. Here you see you have envelopes for both A and B, and EQs for A and B. You also have the same for your own imported sample. Now I want some reverb on this, so luckily I can just click the effects button, and here I have reverb. Over here we have some filters that you can mess around with, and finally we have convolution reverb. There's a lot you can do in this plugin, and there's so many instruments just available. Now I'm just going to clone this because we're going to move on to melody. Now for the melody, I found this instrument I really like. Now I've got an idea in my head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out a basic melody and then we're going to fill in the rest. So now I've got a foundation. So what I'm going to start doing is writing passing notes. A passing note is just a note that gets one note to another. So we want to get from this A to this E. So I'll just put a note here. That works. This is just a passing note. There we go, we use that C over here. Now a passing note doesn't need to be a smooth transition up or down. So I don't need my passing note to go here. If I want, I can put it here. That's probably where I'm going to keep it. But it just needs to be a transition to a note, not a smooth one. Because it still sounds good. So this will probably just be my little basic melody. I might write another one soon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bass. So we're going to do an easy bass, and we're just going to take the bass notes from our chords. So that would just be F and C. So I'll just be using this upright bass, and it's literally just these 2 notes. So now I'm going to put the melody and the chords on a mixer track. So I'm going to be using Origin, I'm just going to use it on the Lo-Fi preset, and I'll tweak it a bit. So now I've added the lo-fi effect to the melody and the chords, and I've just turned the bass down a bit. And finally, we can get to work on drums. So I'm going to go to my drum pack, and I'm going to find some drums that I think will work. Now we'll go on a new pattern, and what I do with the hi-hats is, because I want it to be slower, I usually just fill each 4 steps. And for the snares, I'm just going to put them 8 steps apart. Now a good thing to do is, because we're making lo-fi, we can use some swing up here with this swing knob. So I'm just going to turn it up a bit. Now drums is kind of hard to explain. I have got a dedicated video to it, but it all just comes down to what you can think of in your head. So at the moment we've got a very basic pattern with the snares and the hi-hats. If we really wanted to, we could just fill each 8, but then it just gets really boring. But what you can do is fill out each 8, listen to it, and then think, should any of these come earlier or later? So for example, I'll have a listen. So I think this second kick should come in earlier, so I'll just move it. Now I'm feeling like this area is empty. We'll just have a listen, where can we fit a kick in? So I'm hearing one right here. Now I want more rhythm in there, so because we've got swinging, we can just add a kick right here before this one, and it will sound really good. And then I'll just put one here again, just like over here. And then I want to put 2 kicks here, leading back to this first one. Now I also want to put Origin on the drums as well, just not as harsh. I'm going to put it on the lo-fi setting, and we're going to turn the vinyl all the way down, because we've already got it on the melody and the chords. Now when we've got this on, you can hear the kicks on as punchy. I can just click this here, and it enables a high pass filter. And that's just some very basic lo-fi. So we can just get to arranging now. And now I've thought about it, I kind of want to go back to this melody, so I'll make it unique. And we're going to change it a bit for when it actually comes in. I can hear something in my head, and it just goes like this. Now it is very basic, but I just wanted to give you a view into my thought process when I make lo-fi. Thank you again to Clark Audio for sponsoring this video, and if you like the Lofi Panda plugin, I will leave a link in the description and pinned in my comment section. Thank you to everyone who watched, and goodbye.